individual, then obviously it's the most satisfying one. Satisfying probably is not the right word in this case. Probably it's more like saying the one that motivates us the most. So therefore, the practice of Chenrezig is such that it's very universal, it's very general. It's a common language that everyone understands, that everyone speaks, and therefore why we practice it. But nevertheless, it is made up, and so therefore we don't have to hammer our head by thinking, even though I have practiced compassion this diligently, that much, I still personally or individually don't feel more compassionate than when I was not practicing, or that externally I do not see any result in terms of I do not see others as enlightened or pure as before, or even after practicing, because that kind of thinking, let's say, is a type of effect or a side effect, let's say, of having been somehow obscured by thinking only of, by thinking that the trick is everything, you know, because that's not the point. And the actual point is none other than, hopefully, through that skillful method, for example, the practice of Chenrezig, that we will be able to relate to a state of experience, one could say, where where there is lack of thought, that something will occur. Of course, we can not really name exactly what that experience is. Of course, we have a lot of beautiful terms to discover it, to describe it. Describe it, such as Buddha nature and so on. But nevertheless, those are still labels, nothing more. And from time to time, we may have a slight indication of what that is like, and it's a bit scary, I suppose, to most of us, because that experience is somewhat uncontrolled state. So therefore we feel that, am I becoming crazy? It is possible to become crazy, let's say, when we experience that. If you don't have a reliable Dhamma friend or a Dhamma teacher or a spiritual teacher or a spiritual friend who can somehow assist you into describing exactly what you're going through. That it's possible that if that experience is gone unchecked, no matter how positive it is or how beneficial it is, that it's possible that we could become a little bit insane, sort of thing. So that's why the Buddha Dhamma is taught sort of very slowly, very gradually, very cautiously. That's the main reason. It's not because it's scarce or one doesn't want to give up one's own knowledge. It's because that experience, no matter how beneficial it is, it has to be taught with proper supervision sort of thing. So that's why these are things to keep in mind. First of all, to recap, that reason why we meditate, or what meditation is not to think, is to find a way, is to find a state where we don't think. And hopefully through that experience, then we will not, jump into ideas or conclusions that this is it, that this is enlightenment, or that this is the escape sort of thing. That we don't judge, that we don't label anything. So hopefully, once again, during this time, during this course again, over the course of these few days, we will be able to accumulate, first of all, credibility among ourselves, yes, meaning merit, and wisdom, accumulation of these two kinds of credits, and then through that, then hopefully we will be able to relate to the idea, relate to the state of, how do I say it? Non-verbal sort of experience. Good luck to us. So now, of course, our chanting master will perform the recitation aspect of the practice, and during that time, obviously we will try to read the phonetic aspect of the practice, which is in Tibetan, and I'm sure the English translation is right next to the Tibetan phonetic translation. For those of you who are confused which to read, because of course you wish to understand the meaning on one hand, on the other hand you want to get the benefit, and you kind of want to also follow the rhythm of everyone. So decisions, you know. So therefore, should we begin the walk with the right foot or the left foot sort of thing? Of course you need both. But for the occasion, I would simply say that to follow the Tibetan phonetic, because right now you're practicing as a group, as a team, one could say. Although of course team sounds strange, but nevertheless in unison. When you're all together here, then you read the Tibetan phonetic. It helps the rhythm, you know. And you don't have to worry about the benefit, because these Tibetan words are not the kind of Tibetan words that we Tibetans use during every day. Those are sort of what is known as ordinary Tibetan, which are not perfect actually, which are improper. Basically, most of them are slangs and swearing words and all the other junks that we can think of. But nevertheless, those words that are there in the text were founded a long time ago. Not to explain it in an academic way, but they took place long time ago. And they were composed by none other than actually experienced, realized individuals known as Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And so therefore they had made sure they were excellent scholars, they were excellent linguists, they were excellent translators, and most importantly they were excellent meditators. So therefore they understood the concepts, they perfectly understood concepts and they perfectly understood reality. And so therefore they were able to put together both in the most perfect, in the most harmonious way, harmonious order, and they found each of those letters and verbs and nouns and consonants and so on. So they were phrased in such a way that there is no flaw at all. And so the chanting master's duty is to basically make sure that his or her breathing is good, the voice is good, and the voice is soothing, of course, not too coarse, not too low, and so that we will all be able to follow that rhythm. And so therefore, because as I said, the way it's composed is such that it's also blessed, by Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. That when they compose these texts, they don't just do it one day when they are brushing their teeth and thinking that, I think I'll write that, It's not like that. They really take time and they really take pleasure, genuine pleasure in writing it. And then they seek their teachers, they seek their Dhamma friends, and then they seek their, wisdom aspects to grant the permission to compose these. And so therefore it is known. Now for those who are enthusiasts in terms of, the details of who protects them, who sort of gives the guarantee and so on. The Dhammapalas protects these words. The wisdom aspects gives all of the accomplishments, and of course most importantly, and the teacher, the spiritual guide, gives their blessing. And so therefore they are known as the perfect speech. So therefore it is really possible for us to have blind devotion, actually in this case, in the more sort of backward sense, really blind devotion when we read the Tibetan phonetic. Yes. So follow the melody and so on. But having said that, when you read the same scripture or the practice individually at your home or wherever you are, then obviously I would encourage you to read the translation of whatever language is available, so that according to whatever language you are accustomed to or that you are brought up with, then you get a that you use the bridge to use that your own mother's tongue as a bridge to actually understand, to absorb the actual meaning. So in that manner, then I welcome all of you to practice this Chandrisic sadhana.